This is Business Beyond the Game, and we have another great episode on tap for you today. My name is Eric Jackson, sports business reporter with Sportico, and I'm joined by rapper, filmmaker, actor, and Big Three chief executive Ice Cube. Appreciate you taking the time to come on, man. How are you?
What's up, Eric? How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Your three-on-three basketball league, Cube, is going into its sixth season. How do you feel about this season versus others in terms of gaining, momentum on the business side?
I feel great. People, really starting to get into the league. I think us being certified as the only black-owned league in America has really put a lot of attention on the league. So we hope businesses reach out to us and who want to do businesses with black owned businesses want to reach out, and we got something that's very unique, like a league that has some of the greatest players that ever played the game a part of this league. So we doing good. We want more.
Right.
That's what it's all about. So we hope that companies and partners reach out.
I know you, as you mentioned, becoming officially certified black-owned business through U.S. Black Chambers, the first black-owned sports league. How does that designation, Q, kind of align with your overall views on just black enterprise?
Well, the league has been diverse from day one. So of course I'm into, any kind of push for that. We need more black owned companies to succeed in America. We need more Fortune 500 companies to get in business with us. And so it's real important to wherever I can try to, connect the dots. And, it's been amazing. I know we're going to talk about the NFL in a minute, but it's just been amazing the work that's being done behind the scenes and the talent that companies are now tapping into.
Right, and you have a contract with Black America. It's an initiative you created to address the racial wealth gap back in 2020. You already secured a $100 million pledge with the NFL. Now, there's been criticism about how the league has handled race relations. Were you ever hesitant to partner with the NFL, and how's that partnership been since that was announced?
No, I wasn't hesitant. I knew once we approached the NFL with the contract with Black America, and it really deals with a lot of different things. The contract with Black America deals with everything from banking to housing to policing,
Well,
schooling, and everything in between. But we chose to really focus on the wealth gap because we feel, that we living in a capitalist society,
right.
and capital eases a lot of pain when you have it. So we feel like putting capital into the hands of very responsible, very talented Black people could only help the situation. So
Right.
that's been our mission. And so, with the NFL, I've been knowing Roger Goodell for a long time, and Troy Vincent,
Mm.
who's his right hand, left hand man. Troy reached out to the contract with Black America, to our team, to see what we could do to help them, become a more diverse company behind the scenes. Things that you don't see on TV a lot. And so, we've been working with them for over 2 years to put over 120 $5 million into the hands of Black businesses and also Black banks who make loans to the Black community.
Mm.
So we're doing what we can to chip away at this wealth gap, and we're happy to partner with the NFL to figure out more and more ways to do that.
Yeah. Do you think some of the criticism against them has been unjust, especially doing the partnership with you guys? Like, I'm curious your thoughts on just the perception versus the reality, maybe.
Well, I mean, I think you got to look at everything on an individual basis.
Mhm.
Um, the NFL, at some point you got to look at the makeup of the owners and understand that it might not be a natural connection.
Mhm.
So you have to have the initiative to make the connection, get them to understand the position that they're in and the things that they can do for the community that provides them most of their players.
Mm.
So, you know, um, they want to help, but they also see the future. They see, okay, we're getting most of our players out of these neighborhoods. We should do things to make sure those neighborhoods are successful.
Mhm.
So, in a lot of ways, they're doing the right thing, not only for the community, but they're doing the right thing for the NFL and the future of the NFL. So, it works hand in hand, and there's nothing wrong with that. And helping them realize that is a great thing, and I'm in a position to do that. So, I have no problem with helping them make that connection, and then start to work with some of the great Black companies that's out here.
Right, for sure. And do you have a goal of, NFL is the first major league, but do you have a goal of expanding this to, the other, MLB, NBA, NHL?
Yep, you hit the nail right on the head. We started with the NFL because it's the biggest, it's the most influential.
Hmm.
It can influence other companies that deal with the NFL as well. So we've been talking to Major League Soccer. We've had a conversation or two with Major League Baseball, and we want to, of course, talk to the NBA. Adam Silver returned my calls. Um, so and other companies, Nike, PepsiCo,
Mm.
Taco Bell. Um, we want other people to adopt this program that won't cost them an extra dollar.
Right.
Well, we have figured out great ways to insert great companies into their roster of vendors and contracts, and so we want to do the same thing with all the major companies in America, hopefully around the world.
Mm.
I think it's a great thing to do, and they will be better as companies once they start to implement this.
Right. I was going to say, because is the work ever done, especially as an initiative as important as this one? I'm kind of curious, how do you feel about, is there a timeline, or is this a continual process for you, you think, just moving forward in your career?
I think it's a continuous thing.
Mhm.
I think we try to, you know, to initiate these relationships. We try to cultivate them.
Mhm.
We try to make sure they're healthy and they stay healthy, and then more relationships are made. Um, companies that's successful with the NFL. We want to plug those same companies up
No.
with other opportunities with other major companies. Maybe they can help them too, and try to broaden our best companies footprint,
Mhm.
and get them doing more things with hiring more people to work with these Fortune 500 companies, and get a familiar, we want them to be familiar. I didn't want to mess up that word. I was about to stumble over that word, but we want them to get familiar with each other and work with each other for years and years to come, and develop long lasting relationships that last decades.
Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned relationships because I want to go on a lighter note on, two worlds colliding a little bit, just changing gears here. Nowadays, you have all these music agencies branching off into sports, right? Rock Nation, QC, Drake just did the OVO Jersey deal with G League Ignite. Big 12 conferences looking at music artists for their programming with help of Steve Stout at Translation. So I'm just curious, what's it like from your perspective, Cube, to see the sports world and the music world becoming more synonymous than ever?
Well, to me, it's a match made in heaven. It's it goes together. Um, I heard Snoop say, you know, sports without music is just a game,
Mm.
and music, sound, um, the the style and flavor that artists bring to the table makes it an event, makes it entertaining, larger than life. So they've been courting each other for a minute. Now hopefully there's a real marriage
Mm.
between music and sports, and they can figure out new ways to entertain the people who watch the sports and love the sports, but still want to have a good time at halftime. So, um, I just think it's always been there. It picked up more momentum, in the '90s and the 2000s, and now it's time to develop a partnership, not have it so separate.
I know. I think Drake had a line one time that was like, "We want to be them and they want to be us," talking about athletes. Like, did you ever feel like that at all? Or I'm kind of, like that relationship. Um,
Me and Shaquille O'Neal, we did a cover of Sports Illustrated, and the cover was um, rappers want to be ballers and ballers want to be rappers, because at the time Shaq had platinum records out. So
right, right,
it
right.
was it's always been that fascination, and you know most most artists, you know heroes are, they still have heroes, and they're usually sports players, you know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm.
So um it's just
Similar
something
communities
that,
sometimes, right?
yeah, and just like, most of the time, we can't do that and they can't do this. So
Right.
it's the admiration that you're shining in your arena, and there's respect that goes with that. And I wish I could shine in your arena, and you wish you could shine in my arena. And that's what keeps us fans, and not just big headed ass entertainers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The gap is closing. Before I let you go, Cube, as someone who's a veteran in the entertainment business, who's experienced, both the highs and the lows, what's the best business advice you've ever received, and who gave that to you?
Um, the best business advice I got was know the business that you're in.
Mm.
Know everything you can about it. Because if you don't, that's where you'll lose. What you don't know is where you'll weak. Um, um, I'm trying to remember exactly who gave me that advice. I'm gonna be honest, but
Mhm.
it's something that stayed with me, to know the game that you're playing, uh, or expect to lose. Um,
What is that? Whether
And
it's sports or whether it's music, or it doesn't matter how across industry. Yeah,
whatever you in,
right.
if you whatever industry you're in,
Mhm.
know what the industry is all about. Try to know everything you can about the industry. Um, and that gives you a chance. Getting into something and not knowing everything gives you, it leaves you vulnerable. You have a weakness, and that weakness is, the longer you stay into that game and not learn it, the weakness is going to come and bite you. So, I heard another thing that was to me poignant. Um, don't complain about what you didn't get because of the work you didn't put in.
Mm. Mm.
So
Yeah.
you
Who
know
gave
when
you
you're
who gave you that
shortchanging
one?
it. I actually heard that one from a coach. And he was speaking to other players. And it's so true. Like whatever you don't put into something, don't expect to get a reward when you know you're shortchanging it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
No.
my advice for the day.
No, I love that. I love that. Dropping gems today. I love it. Well, there you have it, folks. Businessman, entertainer, Big Three founder, among other things. Ice Cube, thanks for taking the time, man.
No problem, man. Anytime.